The Mage is one of the 8 archetypes present in Ashes of Creation. Mages are masters of imagination, destruction, and power. They can cause devastation across large areas and apply elemental energies to break through any defense. While masters of mass chaos, mages are also adept at focusing in on the foes at hand by utilizing either of the 4 elemental schools available to them. These elements may also have more influence in certain seasons and climates, for example, frost abilities being stronger in winter. Welcome everyone to the latest Ashes of Creation update, featuring the Mage archetype. Before getting into the combat display though, I'll remind everyone that this is a work in progress and not a final product. And with that out of the way, let's enjoy this first look at the Alpha 2 Mage update. So, at the time of this recording, it is currently 28th of April 2023, and the team released what is currently the latest iteration of the Mage archetype. We will go ahead and take a look at some new abilities, specifically from the Frost and Lightning elemental schools, and the occasional utility spell too. Or actually, let's start with that. Blink, a 20 seconds cooldown spell. Instantly teleport a set distance in the direction you are moving. Pretty simple ability. Its purpose is to close a gap, to create a gap, or to simply reposition during a fight. Different mages will choose to use this ability in different ways, depending on the spec they have chosen. A more ranged-based classic mage will most likely use this to create space between himself and opponents. However, a battle mage that focuses more on melee will probably want to use this as an opener to initiate and close the distance. Second ability, Shell, creates a protective magical shell around yourself that absorbs a large amount of damage before breaking. This is a pretty classic mage spell. It's just a big health shield that you will want to time correctly as it has a limited duration. So you might want to use it when you know you will take a lot of damage. Next ability is called Ball Lightning. It creates a large ball of highly charged electricity that travels slowly forward, dealing rapid periodic lightning damage to enemies it overlaps with and applying an electrified stack to targets with each hit. This ability is kinda cool because, as you can see in the background footage, it interacts with the terrain and it tries to stay at the ground level. Next we have another classic one, Blizzard. Channel a massive blizzard around you, raining a barrage of hail shards upon your enemies while channeling. Each shard impact deals ice damage in a small area around it, and all enemies in the blizzard also accumulate a stack of shield periodically. Cone of Cold blasts a cone of cold in front of the caster, dealing ice damage and applying a stack of shield to each enemy hit. The blast also leaves behind a field of ice mines that explode on proximity contact, causing additional ice damage and shield stacks to nearby enemies. Lightning Strike. Call down lightning on an enemy, dealing damage and applying 2 stacks of Electrify. You can also hold down the button and charge this for more damage. Once you build 10 stacks of Electrified on the target, they get another debuff called the Shocked status effect. You can then hit the enemy with damaging attacks to consume electrified stacks with each hit and deal extra damage. We also have some passives, such as Elemental Empowerment. Whenever you cast an elemental spell, your weapon attacks deal additional damage of that spell's element, and apply a stack of the corresponding elemental status effect to the target's hit. Casting a spell of a different element switches this effect to the new element. Frostbolt launches a bolt of frost towards the target, and it deals ice damage and applies 2 chill stacks. Slumber applies the sleeping condition to targets affected within a small area around the primary target, rendering them unable to move or take any action. Any damage dealt to a sleeping target will break the effect. Chain Lightning. Release a powerful streak of lightning that hits your primary target and then chains outward to all nearby enemies from that target, dealing lightning damage and applying 3 stacks of Electrified to each target hit. Here, a nice interaction with the environment can be observed. By going behind this rock, for example, and not looking at the enemy directly, the Chain Lightning is still going to connect by doing a small arc around the obstacle. Next spell is called Arcane Volley. Fires off a volley of arcane missiles at your target, dealing arcane damage with each hit. This one is a bit more simple. It just deals damage, and it can be used in rapid succession as it works on a charge system that holds 2 charges. It's very effective with the Shocked status effect, as it's considered a multi-hit spell, and the interaction with the electrified stacks can deal some very nice damage. Another thing that is worth mentioning is how the mage can utilize different unique weapons. It's not just the wand that can interact with the mage's abilities, different weapons have different synergies with the class abilities. By using the Greatsword, a mage can trade the range advantage for the ability to utilize the Shocked status effect in a big AoE. because you are hitting all the enemies at the same time. So basically the Greatsword is much better for dealing with packs of mobs because of the Elemental Empowerment passive. Players are also allowed to swap weapons during combat, but not armor. And to end the video on an interesting note, let's show the sound effects of the skills, and how the abilities look while being comboed together.
And now, Keenan, talk to us a little bit about kind of the process that goes into creating these, class kits for Alpha 2. Your strike team has been hard at work in kind of developing phase 1 and phase 2 of these. What exactly goes into those phases?
Well, it's pretty much a 3-phase process. Phase 1 is very open-ended. We pretty much try everything under the sun, and we put it together in every way we can imagine, and we try to figure out what we like and don't like and iterate fast. Like we usually do playables like twice a week when we're in that phase. What you guys are seeing here is actually abilities that are in the process of passing phase 2. So they are approaching levels where we are happy with how they play, happy with how they look, and some details may change over time, but generally speaking, this is what we're going for. And from here, it would mostly just be like polish and assets and just getting like external feedback and stuff like that.
Very nice. Trad, I liked your use of slumber there. You're in a precarious spot. Oh god. Oh my god, Trad, I am literally on the edge of my seat just watching this, hoping you don't turn into ash. Oh god. Trad! Ow. Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Clutch shell.
I wanted to make it look close, it's good for the audience.
Uh-huh, yeah. Yep, me too. That's when I die, it's because it's,
Yeah, I mean, it's a dramatic effect.
Yeah, agreed, totally. So what's a good promotion effect that I can do between electricity and frost right now?
Usually I like to stick with frost first. So I'll open with, do we want to show frostbolt?
Yeah, we can show
let's
frostbolt.
do that. So this is a single target projectile attack that applies 2 stacks of chill to the enemy. And then after that, hit him with a few wand attacks. Now you'll see that you've gotten a frozen status effect on him, and then he timed that really well right there. But like in that very last frame, you'll see that he hit him with a lightning effect, which triggers the Shatus. It's not even a condition, it's just a reaction. And that just triggers a bunch of damage. So that's a good way to get your burst damage if you're rotating your spells and your elements the correct way.
Yeah, that's super cool.